Mm. Hello, we are live right now here at Francis Page Media. Let us see who is joining us tonight as we go through those stories that have been happening in the world of our royals. Let us try and adjust the screen to see if we are well centered in the camera. Yes, who is joining us tonight? Guys, anybody coming to join us on this live stream? As we dig through what is going on in the world of our British royals. Let's see if we can adjust the light better that way, I think. See, there's better, I think. Better. Hello guys, welcome aboard this live stream here tonight, Francis Page Media. This is where you always come to catch up with everything that you might have missed in the world of our British royals. Lorraine, great to see you on this live as always. Today it's been an honor again to see you pop up very early on. Guys, excuse me. I have to adjust this. 1 minute, guys. Sorry about that. I'm having a crisis here with my systems. Okay, 1 minute, guys. I'll be with you in a second. Systems are failing, guys, tonight. You'll excuse me. Right. Let's get this sorted first. Right, are we there? Right, here we go. Yes, guys, welcome aboard this live stream, Francis Page Media, where you always come to catch up with the latest. I'm okay, Lorraine. And yes, notifications have been failing recently everywhere, but glad you managed to catch this one, Lorraine. So yes, here we go again. Some really horrifying news that has come to us. Of course, as you can see in the headlines there, Queen Camilla apparently nearly crashed mid-air this afternoon when she was coming back from a trip from India. Apparently her plane collided with a bird mid-air. So rarely do we see things like that happen. But this time around, of course, when it did happen, it was very shocking. I've just read in the papers that Queen Camilla was really shocked, and indeed everybody else who was on that plane that was coming from India this afternoon, in which a bird collided with a plane mid-air. And if you see the images on social media, you can see a big dent in front of the Boeing 777, the British Airways flight, as it landed at Heathrow this afternoon. Very terrifying news. Apparently, Queen Camilla was very terrified, and we know that Camilla doesn't necessarily like traveling on flights. Every time she's traveling, she's having to clutch or hold on to her husband very firmly when the plane is taking off and landing. So you can imagine the terror she might have come face to face this afternoon when that plane nearly crashed mid-air. So if you missed that story, guys, pop up to Daily Mail, I think, and The Sun has featured that story as well of Queen Camilla's flight landing at Heathrow Airport with a massive dent in the nose of the plane. Hi Lily, thank you so much for joining us today. You are always here on time. I'm so glad to always have you on board. Massive support to this channel. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a brilliant weekend, Lily, wherever you are. and everybody else there. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful evening. Here I'm having a glass of prosecco, just the one. It is a weekend, Saturday. Why not, guys? What are you all having there? Share with us in the comment section below. It is the weekend, guys. We have been through a lot this week, and of course, Saturday is when we sit down and sort of let our hair down and put our feet up and try and chill out. Before I go forward, guys, I hope my sound is good. I haven't got any headphones on today, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that my sound is very, very loud and clear wherever you are. So please send me a message or a thumbs up in there and tell me that we are all good to go. Otherwise, I don't want to be going on and on and on, and the sound isn't on. But yes, Lorraine says, I've just settled down with a cup of tea before bed. Yes, best thing to do, Lorraine. I always have my cup of tea as well before bed, just to get ourselves warmed up before that night's sleep. But it has been a little bit cold up here in England, and if you're in England on this live, you can agree with me as we enter into that winter night of Halloween. I think tomorrow, are you guys all set up for Halloween? Have you got your pumpkins out and stuff like that? And I think this is the weekend that is officially taking us into the winter sort of season here in United Kingdom. So yes, let us sort of chill out a little bit before we roll down into those winter nights. Me too, Lily. Okay, yeah, great to see you, Lily, there. Enjoy. Why not? You work so hard. And of course, we've got nothing better than a cup of tea and a good book before bed. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Chill out. You know, we work so hard throughout the day and throughout the week, guys. Whenever we get that little time for some self-care, why not make use of it? It's so stressful out there. But yes, grab that cup of tea as we talk through what is going on in the world of our British royals. So as you have heard, Queen Camilla nearly crashing mid-air this afternoon from India. That must have been very, very horrifying for everyone who was on that flight. Lorraine, hello, good to see you. I'll flag up your messages, guys, on the screen just to show you that I am receiving those messages, and also to show appreciation for your engagement on this site. And you guys are doing great work keeping these messages coming, because this is how we drive our channel messages forward. But yes, Queen Camilla nearly crashed mid-air today, so Buckingham Palace hasn't commented, of course, on that scenario. But one thing we know is that Camilla has landed safely back from India. We heard that she had gone to India for a health retreat. I think she has somewhere that she goes and relaxes, gets a bit of yoga, sauna, all those things that happen just to try and put your head down a little bit away from the busy, busy royal duties. And understandably, Camilla had gone there alone, so King Charles III stayed here on royal engagements, while his wife, Queen Camilla, was abroad taking a week's well-earned holiday. So yes, Camilla has arrived safely. Buckingham Palace hasn't commented on that incident, but maybe we shall get to see that appear in the papers, or Buckingham Palace will sort of update us on the situation through their Instagram or Twitter, official Twitter page tomorrow. So keep an eye on that, guys. Lily says, got Fizz here as a stay for weekend. I'm watching here in Midlands, getting cold. Yes, indeed. Keep warm, dear Lily. Please, as much as you can. Lorna says, oh dear, I didn't hear about that. Yes, it was a massive near miss, and apparently Queen Camilla was very, very shocked. She always fears flying. She fears flying. Every time they fly with husband, King Charles, apparently she has to hold on to Camilla really, really strongly. really, really family. And at some point, people on the plane were had they had King Charles telling Camilla, "Oh, that is really, really a firm grip. Oh dear," you know. But I fear flying like everybody else, and whenever we jump onto those flights, we always have to pray so we can have a safe journey wherever we are going. So yes, Lorna, if you had missed that, please, Daily Mail has that on their front page, and also here at Francis Page Media, of course, where you guys always come to catch up with the latest that is always out there in the world of our British royals. Yes, it's just popped in my news feeds. Yes, Lily, thank you so much for always staying up to date. By the way, Lily is a big fan base. Yeah, she has kept this channel going. Guys, Lorna, Rose, you guys are doing a great, great job on this channel. Lorraine, we missed you last time. Great to see you here. And indeed, every single one of you who always shows up here. So Rose says, a cup of help helps you sleep. Thanks for the news, Francis. First time to hear. Camilla is safe, thank God. Indeed, she is back home safely. And obviously, this is the worst time to travel, guys, especially flying. I don't know about you, but I hate flying in winter. First and foremost, visibility up mid-air is very, very limited, as we know, fog and everything. The runways are very slippery, and in some countries right now it has started snowing. Other countries it's really, really hot, so runways become very, very slippery, whether because of the weather. So this isn't the right time to fly. But of course, with our royals and the work they do, getting from place to place, from place A to place B, that is something that is traveling is something that is unavoidable. And we know that Prince William is also due to travel to United States around December time, and around that time we know how much United States is freezing, and especially Boston, where Prince William is going. That is really, really going to be a place very, very iced with snow at that time, December time, when Prince William is flying out with Catherine for the Short Prize project, which is set to be taking place around that time. So fingers crossed, we pray that royals travel safely, get to places A to B, because they have to carry on working and doing these great jobs they are doing for the local communities out there. So thank you so much, Rose McCarthy, for catching up here today, and also for sharing that great tip. I will always follow that from now on. And Lorna says, thank you, I'll check you, but have all your news. Yes, Lorna, thank you, I've acknowledged that. And as always, Lorna, keep up that great support. Hopefully the Queen Consort is okay. And she is not a fan of flying to start with. No, she isn't. And every time she's going to fly, apparently she doesn't have sleep the night before. She's trembling, she's worried, she's everything. And I think that explains why we haven't seen more of Queen Camilla traveling abroad. And if she travels abroad with King Charles, on arrival, she takes at least a day or two resting before she goes out on engagements. So if you have followed Prince Charles and King Charles abroad with Camilla, you will notice that when they are there, you see King Charles traveling on those first two engagements by himself without Camilla. That is because Camilla's taken a step back to get some rest and all that, because she is really, really affected by flying, apparently. So, but yes, that experience, and India must have been a very long flight. How many hours flying from India from here? I think that is about 12 hours or something. India is really, really far from UK, isn't it? And says a bird collided with her plane. Yes, it did. But I wonder what sort of bird that was, because if you look at the dent is massive, and to imagine a bird causing that huge dent it must have been a big bird of some sort. Or maybe it could have been some sort of plastic bird out there flying. Because guys, take a look at that dent. I think I've shared that image here on the as a thumbnail. So if you get to zoom that photo in, you will see what I mean. So yes, but she's all safe now. Rose says there are floods in America later. Tito Prince, William and Catherine and their children will be okay. Yes, hopefully. I think they might travel just the two of them, leaving the children behind because of the timings for this trip. We're not sure, but I think they will be going, William and Catherine Rose. I'll double check that and then, of course, come back to you. But yes, we wish them a very, very safe flight to United States. I have friends, cousins living in Boston, and they always share photographs with us during winter, and when it snows down there, guys, it's really, really bad. I don't think England comes anywhere near to the snow some of these places receiving United States. So we hope, we really, really hope, Rose, as you said, we really hope their flight is a safe one and the weather is good on the day. So Lorraine says, are the Cambridges in America, I'm assuming, for an holiday or not work with the children being on school holidays? So the Cambridges, of course, they will be going for the, what do you mean now, Lorraine? Because they have been off with the kids being in school holidays. But as far as we know, their whereabouts over these holidays haven't been really publicized that much. But what we know is that they were meant to travel for the Earthshot, that word Earthshot Prize sort of summit somewhere around the time Queen Elizabeth died. So they had to postpone that trip to United States. But it has now been confirmed they will be going down there in December, around the 22nd. Fun enough, they are going close to Christmas period. So I don't know if the royal family has any plans to spend Christmas as a unit. But guys, that is what is going on as we speak right now. Queen Camilla is settling down. I'm assuming right now, wherever she is, she's telling it all to to her husband, King Charles. Those two really have a good connection and natter. Whenever they sit down, they can talk until they both drop. So Lorraine, for holiday and not work with the children on holiday. Yes. So if they are there, it must be something to do with a short sort of an insight into what they will be doing in December with their short project. But it hasn't really been publicized. So I'm thinking it's not a royal visit if they are in United States right now. So Rose says, oh, our children will be with them. Okay, maybe. I'll get back to you, Rose, once I ascertain this. But I think they will be going for a short time because it's going to be a whirlwind tour, straight into Boston, unless they are working on other plans. But again, at this point, we haven't had any full details to that trip. But I'll keep you up to date, Rose. Thank you for informing us. When you share these news, guys, you help us sort of put our heads together and become even more informed. So Lorraine says, Monday, there's so many school holidays, never know the amount of time they have off. Yes, and schools here, of course, have different patterns of holidays. So where I live, the schools have been in holiday for the week. But in other parts of the country, they had their holidays the other week before this one. So kids are back in school there. So they keep alternating. I don't know why it is, but I think it's a case of trying to balance and not allowing all schools to be out of school at the same time. You know what happens when kids are on holidays, guys? But yes, that is what is going on with William and Catherine at the moment. And of course, King Charles as well recently has been a little bit busy, guys. But as we've learned now, um, he hasn't been with his wife Camilla, who has been away to India. And Camilla's trip to India wasn't also very publicized because it was some sort of holiday. Hadn't this happened mid-air today, I bet we would not have found out where Camilla has been. Okay, so these royals also have a private life, things that they do on the side, sometimes without us realizing. But yes, Sam, hi, thank you so much for joining. I think the Wales have stayed at home during school holidays. I think only the two visiting US, but Australia trip is supposed to be all the family. Yes, thank you, Sam, for clarifying that. And the other day I came here on live and on this on the live stream as well, and said that William had taken a day. William and Catherine had taken a day off because the kids were home. It is very exhausting when kids are at home, let alone work while kids are also at home. So for William and Catherine, taking that time off was showing us that even royals, you know, look after their own children, because there is this saying that the royals have nannies and all that stuff, but royals do look after their children. So guys, thank you so much for being up to date and for following up on these royals. And then we have Lorraine says you are correct. Some there are no the Wales habits die hard, only just got used. Yeah, absolutely. And Sam comes in as well. Hi Sam. Being all right, thank you so much for joining this live stream tonight. And yes, it is Saturday winter night. I bet you, Sam, you are very busy because I know you love your Halloween. But guys, thank you so much for at least finding this time to sit in front of your phones, your TVs, to catch up with this royal news live. So, Prince Harry's book is definitely coming out on the 10th of January 2023. And apparently, the book is going to be titled Spare. Spare is the title of the book. Now we know the title, we know the date it's coming out. It feels like there is no holding back. The book is going to come eventually after month and month of pushing it back and forth. It is finally coming out. And what does that mean for the royal family? Of course, debates have already started going on regarding the title itself, Spare, with many people saying, right, that is a big stab in the back. The title itself, being called Spare, is a big stab in the back. First and foremost, what does spare mean? What did he mean? Why did he title the book Spare? Okay, and we know that, of course, Prince Harry himself is a spare of some sort. He is there in the line of succession. Okay, he's going to be, being in the line of succession means that you are on standby to become the king or queen if you are a lady, in case something happens to the hair. Okay, and this is the spare. That is what Harry meant by spare. Somebody who is there in the waiting to be in case so and so isn't going to be. And Harry finds a problem with that in his book. Okay, and I think in his book he says that growing in a position of spare meant that he hasn't had any defined role or duty, okay, since childhood. He's just there as a spare. They haven't assigned him any duty of some sort. All the duties are being assigned to the next in line, who is Prince William. And he goes on to say, apparently, in that title and in his book, that because of his being a spare, the royal family hasn't found any importance in Prince Harry. So they are just seeing him as a prince who is there, but with no real value to the royal family. This is Prince Harry lamenting, allegedly, in his book he called Spare. And of course, he had a problem with that. Okay, the royal family not really assigning any importance to him, and then walking behind his brother, who is the prince, who is going to be the next king, is also something that Prince Harry has a problem with, because he is lacking in the shadows, or he's falling in the shadows of his brother. And that means that he can't really come out to be the man he wants to be. He's always down under Prince William. All the decisions being made and the plans being made are plans made by Prince William and the Queen, or the father, without really, or without involving Prince Harry in those plans. And Prince Harry, of course, had a problem with that. So with his book telling it all, as he says, he's insisting that he wanted, or he found a way of getting out to go and start his own life, a life in which he is going to do things that are more meaningful and things that are going to get him much further in life than where he is. Okay, so the problem here with Prince Harry, of course, is that he doesn't want to be in the line of succession. He wants to be the king, maybe, or he wants to be the next heir. He's telling us that he wishes he was born in a position of William. Okay, and when you look at the Spare, the way he has put down this title and the thoughts in this book, you are looking at a young prince who for long has been very jealous of his brother, who for long hasn't been happy with the fact that he wasn't born to be a king. And he finds a problem with that. And with Prince Harry, I think, yeah, he's failing to understand that being born as a firstborn is something which is given. We don't have control over that. So it's more like him saying maybe he was the one supposed to be king, but they put him into a spare position. Okay, I don't know what you guys think about that, but please drop your thoughts in the comment section below and tell me what you think about this whole Prince Harry's crying about being a spare. And then he's forgetting, obviously, that he's not the only person in the line of succession. So we have the Princess Royal Anne's, who were born in the same position as Prince Harry. We have, for example, Prince George. Now we have Prince George's sister Charlotte and Louis. Okay, they are in the same position that Harry is. Being born as not the next kings or queens, but spares. Charlotte is going to be, as is like a spare to Prince George, and so is Louis. Princess Anne was many years ago. The likes of Prince Edward, Andrews, Prince Charles's, King Charles's brothers and sisters, they were all in the same position as Prince Harry is. But Prince Harry finds a big problem with him being born as a spare, because by the time he finds the word spare to be his main title for that book, is so telling uh, of a prince who for long has had a problem with being born in that position. And what does that tell us? It tells us that he is also stabbing Prince William in the back by saying that Prince William was born before him. Prince William is the man that is taking all the great things. Prince William is overshadowing Harry, and I think this is where problems have been coming from in a long time that we probably hadn't realized. And now Prince Harry is telling us right now, today, in this book that is upcoming, that he always had a problem with being born as a spare, or the next, or the person who is the brother to the person who's going to be king. Okay, and I don't think this came across as great news to the royal family, to Prince William, the brother himself, And we know that Harry liked to use the word, me and my brother are walking different paths. There is a lot we can read in that phrase, walking different paths. And your brother telling you that me and you are walking different paths, meaning that Prince Harry looked at William as the person who is meant to be walking, who is walking a journey that the royal family pretty much prepared for him, while Harry is now the person who is sort of neglected and is having to walk his own path somewhere. Drop your thoughts, guys, in the comments section below. But that is my analysis or understanding of why Prince Harry wants now us to look at that book through a lens of a spare that he has been. And he is convincing us that being born in a position like his is not an empowering thing. What do you guys think? Okay, so Sam says, Francis and you all, hope you're having a good Saturday evening. Yes, we are, Francis. Lauren, did I miss that? Personally, I don't think I have Harry that chose the name. More likely, publisher, they want to see copies, the titles will make them. Right, Lauren, thank you for talking about that. But Harry had a big say in this book. I don't think publishers can force you to say something that you don't agree with, or they can't force you to to write things that are going to really hurt your family in so many ways. I'm thinking Harry himself, as a man, had to make a stance himself and say, right, this is what I want to be in, and this is what I don't want to be in. Um, Whoever advised Harry to go ahead and write this book, of course, and name it Spare, well knowing that Harry himself is a spare person and he knows what it takes to be born in that position. But to go and write that book in light of not loving that position, of course, is somebody out there who really wanted Harry to become hated. Because I know people are not going to love this. The royal family won't love reading this, so it is going to be a huge problem to the royal family when that book is released. And we let us not forget the release date falls before the coronation ceremony of King Charles III. What do you think people are going to think about King Charles and the whole kingdom come the coronation day? Okay, if elements within the royal family are already talking about these things, and I know he says he's going to be telling the whole truth. The whole truth. What is in that whole truth phrase? What is he going to talk about that we already don't know? Regardless of whether these views in this book are going to be lies or the right things, okay, the impact the book is going to cause to the royal family is immense. Okay, and so we had, of course, the parliament driving a motion recently, and that motion was to relieve Prince Harry of the Chancellor of State roles. The Chancellor of State, like we said last time, these are people who would stand in for the king or the queen. In this case, if they don't turn up or if something happens for some reason, Prince Harry would step in and represent the queen, the king. Okay, and Prince Harry has always been as part of the five councillors, together with Prince William, Andrew, Edward, who else? Okay, but now we hear a motion is moving in Parliament to scrap Prince Harry off that Council of State. We have seen King Charles III um, taking over some of the roles that Harry still held here, like the captain in general of the Royal Marines. He took that over recently, and all these moves are moves, I think, to us that are telling us that now the royal family is also starting to prepare itself for parting away from Prince Harry. Okay, all the actions are telling us the royal family is now in that position of starting to part ways with Prince Harry. Where is Prince Harry still having a foothold? Right, let us take him off that. Okay. And of course, we know with the coronation coming very soon, this automatically erases Prince Harry from attending the coronation because I don't see him coming back in association with the royal family in any way, shape, or form. But the problem with this as well, let's see what Lorna says. Let's just hope after the book that's what else is there is to tell us. And it's all very boring, yes. And people are actually saying, we have heard all these stories. Lorraine, as you have said there, people are already saying, we've heard these stories in the Oprah Winfrey interview, we've heard these stories during the interviews he's giving. And so he's writing a book here now telling us he is going to be telling the whole truth. What is he going to be talking about that we don't know about already? Okay? But still, documenting these things and writing them in a book, making these words tangible, is what is going to be a big problem because these books are going to be there. And the Random House publishers, these are people who are publishing the book for Prince Harry. Very, very lucrative publishing company, wealthy company. They have all the money, they have all the influence. They are trying to sell these books as far as they can. Recently, they have even halved the price into half price to ensure that the book sells, the book travels and gets to all corners of the world. It looks like Prince Harry is on a mission to bring down the royal family. Okay, the books are selling half prices, and apparently, we saw that on the websites and the newspapers, Amazon, and all that stuff. It's not even yet out. The book is out on 10th of January, but Random House has started its campaign of trying to get these books out there, starting to sell them at half price even before the release date. Okay, so Lorna, as you say, Prince William is one of those who are very hurt. They are very hurt, and over the years, these brothers have had their own issues, and these issues only came down to boiling point when Meghan Markle married into that family. But here is now things becoming very clear that I think Prince Harry for long had this sort of jealousy for his brother being the next king. And of course, we knew some time back when Princess Diana was still here, these conversations were had that Prince William said he didn't want to be king. And we know how much Prince William was very shy, very, very, he used to be a very private person who never loved the limelight. But of course, as he has grown into the man he is today, and through of course through practicing being with his father on engagements and seeing Queen Elizabeth do what she used to do, Prince William became confident and he actually started envisioning himself as a great king. He will be, and of course he will, because he was born as the firstborn child of King Charles. Okay, but as we know right now, I mean, as we heard of those conversations earlier on, before Princess Diana died, apparently Prince Harry expressed a lot of interest in wanting to be king. He used to have these conversations with his mother. Oh, if William doesn't want to be king, I want to be king. I want to be king. Clearly, growing us as a young man who had that zest for power, that zest for the limelight and all that stuff. Now to see his brother developing into a confident man he is today, and of course knowing that he is going to be king, is something Prince Harry might be feeling very jealous of, and hence that sort of poor relationship developing between the two brothers. Okay, and then this reached the boiling point when Meghan Markle came in, because we know, of course, if when Meghan came, Meghan would have sat down and said to Prince Harry, look, why are you being treated like this? You deserve more than this. We are living in a modern world now where these things actually should not be working like the way they are. You are being subdued. Come on, do something. Get out of this whole crap. Let's go out there and start our life. Let us go and we can make more money out there than we are here. So I'm thinking this is a Meghan now who came in and started sort of throwing all of these ideas into Harry's head. Now, given the fact that Harry already had the other jealousy inside of him, add all these thoughts from Meghan, what do you think was going to happen? Whatever we saw happened. Harry made a statement, I'm out of the royal family. They had to find reasons to get out. Therefore, they used all the reasons we had over the Oprah Winfrey interviews as the reasons for them leaving the royal family. Okay, but this all stems from the fact that Prince Harry, growing up as a spare kid, the way he looked at himself as that person who was seen as somebody without importance by the royal family, no assigned roles, he thought to himself, right, let me get out of here. But the problem here now is that, let me see, Lorraine says the Cambridges, Howells maybe had 3 children, so none of their children would be known as spare. Okay, absolutely. But what we know is Prince Harry is the fifth in line to become the British king. Okay, and of course, with these thoughts in his upcoming book expressing his unhappiness for being a spare or for being in that line to become a king, but yet is not actually going to be a king. We are seeing a situation where they might end up removing him from the line of succession. This is something that is very, very highly likely because I don't see how the royal family can actually accommodate him anymore. Because I think for Prince Harry, he thought that, right, I've got nothing to lose anyway. I wasn't going to be king, and we've left. I've already met this my wife. We've had children, and I'm not gonna leave my wife now because I've got to where I am in life, and I can't see myself divorcing this wife, even when their relationship apparently wasn't the best. But he's got to a point where he says, right, anyway, I stand no chance. So why not make this money and just go and live a life with my family? But again, that is him being very selfish because those children of his are children that won't also get any titles as a result of what their dad has done. Okay, because as we know, the kids are also in the line to be the king or a queen. Okay, they are somewhere in the seventh, eighth, somewhere. So if Prince Harry is pulled out of that and not given those titles, his kids automatically will also be crossed out. Okay, so while Prince Harry is making these decisions, so must he remember that these are decisions that are going to affect his family as well. And Meghan, we know how Meghan isn't helping at all with, of course, pumping all those things into Harry behind the scenes. Okay, we've had on so many occasions Meghan going on her podcasts, taking a swipe at the royal family. Okay, calling the royal family a small voice, a small voice that is controlling so many things, using all this language which is passive, but in in ways that are very demeaning to the royal family. What do you guys think about Prince Harry's spare title book? Lauren says, from what have been said, mostly be about loss of his mother, and the situation is all very sad. My heart goes out to him, but my dad, his mother, and you don't think anyone would buy the book. Lorraine, yes, he's going to talk about his mother, Princess Diana, but he is also going to, apparently, he's also going to talk about his mother's death and all that stuff. And we have had Prince Harry on many occasions in those interviews saying that he took away his wife from the royal family because he didn't want a replay of the scenario that happened to his mother. Now, what scenario is Prince Harry talking about? And does that mean that in his book he's going to elaborate? So when he talks about talking about his mother, Princess Diana, I'm envisioning a book here which is also going to spill everything that happened between Princess Diana, things that led to Princess Diana, and I think it's going to again take this back onto the royal family as being the main cause. Okay. But the thing is, at this time and age, bringing these conversations back into people's minds is making it is bringing back those memories that may damage the royal family, given the fact that we now have a king who is just settling in. Okay, a king who was struggling with popularity. We know very much how King Charles III over the years has had to clean his name. Now, Prince Harry launches his book in which he's going to be telling it all, bringing back those very conversations that King Charles has had to clean his name over the years, and now King Charles is in a position of a king, settling in, trying to win back people's hearts, and the book comes out. So the royal family is in a situation where they are now thinking, right, how are we going to prepare ourselves for this? Of course, we have seen royal biographers coming out. Valentina Law came up, in his book recently, and also we saw that book, The War with the Windsors, as well, and in which books we're talking about Prince Harry, at depth, saying that he and Meghan were very, very hard royals to work with. Their behaviors, they could take no, they could take no advice, and all that stuff. These books were preparing us. They were sort of providing a bulletproof for just in case Harry wrote stuff in their book, in their upcoming book. So whatever we have seen in Valentina Law's book, and that book, I've forgotten what's the name of that guy who's written that book, The War with the Windsors. Guys, remind us in the comment section here. And yes, so in that book, that the thoughts in those books were like bulletproofs, trying to prepare that ground in case Prince Harry comes with his lies. Then we already know what Harry and Meghan were like while they used to live, while they used to serve under the royal family. But it is really, really disappointing to see that Prince Harry and the family that really loved him so much is now going to be ending up as the family that actually was trying to push Harry away. Okay. And Lorraine says, I feel the king is being very nice, allowing them to keep their titles. Absolutely. For King Charles III, of course. And over time, we have seen him trying to keep a low profile in sort of responding to all these issues Meghan and Harry have been trying to raise. And the only person we've seen coming out really was Prince William in answering the public and answering the journalists who were asking, is the royal family a racist family? Prince William springing up and saying, no, we are not very much a racist family. So he was protecting. Prince William has been fighting these wars on his dad's behalf. And if, again, Prince Harry is to be defeated with these claims, it is going to be Prince William who will do this. Okay? Because over the years, King Charles has taken that back foot. But we know the reason for that as well is that Prince Charles is in a position of king now, and as a king, you don't really want to get involved in sort of conflicts of that sort. King Charles and son Prince Harry, conflicting and exchanging views and all that stuff. So I think for King Charles, sorry, he's more of being a very professional person who wants to take things slow, quietly, but also who wants to use other avenues to tackle these problems. He is very much taking the approach Queen Elizabeth used to take when dealing with things like these. So we are seeing Prince William here stepping up to actually provide that shield and handle his brother. And a statement was issued recently through Buckingham Palace that Prince William is now going to have to play a very crucial role in decision making, and that he's going to play a very, very central role during the coronation ceremony. There is a reason for that. There is a big reason for that why Prince William has been placed in charge. Because, first and foremost, over the years, since this saga happened, we have seen Prince William coming up and defending the royal family, putting a stop to Prince Harry. Okay, and even now they want Prince William to carry on doing that. So even for the coronation ceremony, the invitations and all that stuff, it would be Prince William to draw these invitations. And I think it is very easy for Prince William to say, right, Harry, Meghan, you're not coming, than King Charles saying that. Because King Charles would be looked at as somebody who is bad, who is the man has already got a reputation to protect. He doesn't want to take on any more stress. He's also 75, 74 years of age. King Charles is. And of course, he has his wife Camilla, who is not getting on well with Harry as well. So they have a reputation to protect. They have fought so hard to get where they are. They don't want to be entangled in Harry wars. So I think at this point in time, okay, it is going to be Prince William who is going to be the savior again. So let's drive into these comments and see what people are saying. So Rose says here, did I miss that? Okay, so Lorraine says, apart from the fact they have no concept of being British or royal so far, many disbelieve they are of her body, which is a big problem. Okay, I feel the king is being very nice, allowing them to keep the titles. Yes. And then Rose said, is there sugar on here, Francis? Oh, I don't know what that was. Rose, maybe elaborate. I think the Prince Andrew titles complicate how Charles handles Harry. Yes. So that is it. Because again, King Charles is worried of stripping off Harry's titles and leaving Andrew's there. But I think these are two situations. These are two very sensitive issues. But I think with Harry's issue of bringing the royal family down, it is more of a bigger issue. I think with Prince Andrew, okay, whatever he did, went in court. He settled that out of court, and whatever happened, very, very, it was sad to see those things go on. But it's more different with somebody going in front of camera and slamming their family, a big, big family, renowned family in the world, day in, day out, trying to bring down this family. The royal family is also the Commonwealth. So when you say something about the royal family, you are saying something about the Commonwealth, and countries could pull out of this whole thing. Okay, so this is where I'm saying that if Harry loses his titles, I think King Charles III can have a stance where he could turn around and say, I'm protecting the interests of the royal family. And of course, with Prince Harry putting it straight on here in his book Spare, that he has always found a problem with being a spare to the king, then it makes it so easy for King Charles III turning around to say, right, okay, you don't want to be part of the line of succession. There you go. Off you go. Titles, bring them back together, go and live your life. Okay, I don't know what you guys think about that, but Lorna says if they keep their titles, okay, they should live in Britain and occasionally visit the country of Sussex. They should live, but they shouldn't. The people there have petitions that they don't want them anymore as they are not representing them. Absolutely, absolutely. And the fact that they now live in United States, okay, I don't think they should actually have those titles, because back in the days, if you were part of the royal family and you decide to go away and live in a different country for more than a year, you'd definitely lose your titleship. Okay, so I think for long, Prince King Charles. Okay, so they went to United States during Queen Elizabeth's reign, but I think for long, okay, there have been plans of sitting down to think about Harry's situation going forward. But I think this book now is going to sort of speed up the process. Of course, we have seen the motions already moving in Parliament, meaning that they are very close to making those announcements. But I think before they make those announcements, they want to make sure that they have replaced Prince Harry's roles. Okay, all the capacities he's been serving in here. He was the colonel in charge of the Royal Marines. They've replaced that. They are thinking of taking him off being the Chancellor of State. Okay, so these are all telling us that they are now starting to work a plan of how they part from Prince Harry. Okay, and then Lorna again says, no, Lorraine. Okay, Lorna says, I think William will be the savior as well. Yes, he will be very sensible. He has got a huge sense of judgment, Prince William has. It's very mature thinking, very composed. Even when he's giving his speeches and he's talking about things, the language he uses is very thought out. Thought out. Okay, you will agree with me, guys, here. And the other important thing to note as well is the fact that Prince William has got Catherine. Now, Catherine is very, very mature. She's intelligent. She takes things very slow, but she has also a high sense of judgment. Okay, so put William and Catherine together, you are always going to get the best out there in terms of decision making. Okay, and and we know how Catherine has built a good reputation among other royals. So she's listened to, she can speak to people with respect and they get to understand her point of view. Therefore, it is always very easy for William and Catherine to push agendas through the royal family to get that decision, that one unified decision against something. So we are very lucky to have William and Kate here because I think they are going to deal with this Meghan and Harry issue perfectly. We know how Meghan hated Catherine when she arrived because she saw Catherine as somebody who was ahead of her in decision making and also in driving engagements. She was always supposed to be, of course, walking behind Catherine. She was supposed to be getting help and advice from Catherine before launching into any activity. And Meghan did not like that because Meghan comes from this place where she thinks as women, you just launch into what you want. You do this, you have the confidence to do that. Yeah. She's not very, very keen with working in societies where there is standard operating procedures. And that is why when she arrived, it was very easy for her to crash because she, as she told us one time, that she hit the ground running. There are certain places you can't do that. And Prince Harry didn't help much to help his wife settle in, simply because Harry himself was this man who was having a different mindset, you know, within the royal family. A man who always thought, right, I think this is not where I belong because they are not giving me any attention I crave. Okay, they are treating me with no importance because I'm not the next king. So Meghan coming in made Prince Harry, with whom they shared. Prince Harry was already a weak person in terms of, you know, he was very easy to convince, and off they went. Okay, so Lorna, as you said there, Prince William is going to be the savior here, and of course, in combination or working together with Catherine. And Sam says, I agree, Francis. There are two different situations that I think Harry and wife will complain if Andrew gets to keep privileges. And this is the thing with Prince Harry. Uh, he did not think about these other royals who are in the line of succession. Now, Prince Harry is way up there. Okay, Prince Andrew is down there in the line of succession. So if Prince Harry complains being a spare in a position of fifth in line, what is Andrew down there going to say? And Princess Royal Aunts, who have now already jumped off that pecking order. Okay, so this is a prince who is not grateful. Prince Harry is not very grateful. How many people out there would love to be in a position of Prince Harry being fifth in line, having everything on a silver plate, kids having titles? Okay, he's not being grateful at all. But this doesn't surprise me a lot because when we see Prince William behaving the way he does, I think we see a, this is how Queen Elizabeth was. Queen Elizabeth was very thoughtful. He had that high level of professionalism. You can always see a better or great king from miles away, even when they haven't yet been made kings. Looking at William now tells us that come his reign, he is going to be a super flying king. But a position of spare is so important in the royal family. And again, this is something Prince Harry did not see. How many of you have had spare wheels on your vehicles that you have had to use at some point actually? Okay. You're driving your car, you have your four wheels and you have a spare tire in the boot or somewhere. Okay. However long you drive your car, regardless of whether you've used it as spare or not, you have that sense of confidence that I have backup. In that sense, a spare becomes very important. Okay. But in terms of being king and queen, Queen Elizabeth herself was not meant to be a king or a queen. She was a spare. Okay, she wasn't meant to be. Actually, her dad wasn't meant to be. It was only after Queen Elizabeth's dad abdicated the throne that then Queen Elizabeth entered the frame to be in that line of succession. But for long, they were all spares. But Queen Elizabeth ended up becoming the queen. So that tells us that Prince Harry did not actually read into this. He didn't know that actually spares can become king and queen in in an incident that could be unavoidable at some point. Okay, so unless he wants to tell us that that he's not going to live longer, or unless he's telling us that he doesn't know the history behind Queen Elizabeth is being queen. Okay, so again, this book is lacking some information, and I think Prince Harry was in a big rush to release this book, and he wrote the book during times of high emotions. He had just left the royal family, they had their misunderstandings. So he decided to write a book as a way of punishing his own family. But who goes on national television to slam their family? Who even sits down to write these secrets? Okay. So, guys, tell me what you think. But I think I don't really agree with Prince Harry. And Samara says, I agree, Francis. There are two different situations. Yes. And then Rose comes in and says, Francis, the royal family planning would be long term, usually 100-year ahead. So, what we really can't understand in these modern times, royals have their own agenda. You are very right, very right there. And I think maybe uh, uh, Prince Harry thought, right, how long am I going to sit in here? I better go out and get my life sorted, but do that in a way that is not going to throw your family under the bus. Because this family is the same family you are going to come back to when things don't go well. Okay, and whether you like it or not, if Harry struggled in any way, shape, or form, I don't think the royal family here will sit back and let Harry struggle. They will still go and help. So always make sure not to burn those bridges. And when you look at Prince Harry's behaviors and actions recently, he is burning even the slightest of the bridges that were left behind. Very, very sad. Lorraine here comes in and says, I mean, for all we know, the book might not talk about the royals at all. I'm just going to pass interviews excuse. Okay, so Lorraine, Penguin Random House, the one that are releasing this book, of course, said they wanted the whole truth, okay? They wanted something that was going to be juicy. They wanted Harry to talk about those bits are going to cause emotions, things that are going to cause the whole world to sort of get onto Harry's side. And I think they convinced him that the only way you can do this is through writing this book and tell it all. So he calls it Tell It All, the whole truth. And we have seen our prince, I'm talking about Prince Harry, who has been holding this book back from being published, asking to edit things out. And I think this he thought that right, some stuff in that book were heavy and they might actually cause a very, very big issue to the royal family. So these dates that have been pushing back and forth were being so because Harry was still sort of debating with Penguin Random House, asking for more time to delete, edit, change things around. But again, here the queen dies, and Harry thinks he should also include some things from the funeral itself. And we know how much Harry was treated during the funeral, and the isolation he was exposed to during the funeral time periods, how Meghan was treated when she was here. And this is Prince Harry who wants to include all these things in that book, okay, in a way of attracting sympathy, okay. So I really, really doubt if Prince Harry can sell a book to Penguin House for that money, 20 million US dollars apparently, just to say things like, my name is Harry, I was born as the second born child, my mother was Queen Elizabeth, and I'm the fifth in line to the British throne. No way. They paid him a lot of money and they want to sell the best bits. Penguin Random House, by the time they announce that they are releasing this book, trust me, it is going to be bombshell in this book. Bombshells after bombshells. And the royal family is preparing themselves for whatever is going to come up. As like we have seen here, King Charles III now has started assuming some of the responsibilities Harry had. This issue had never reached Parliament, but recently they are now debating Prince Harry being dropped from chancellorship. What does that mean? Once he's dropped from chancellorship, that's him done. If you cannot represent the Queen, the King in a role you were made to do since you were born, it means that even the royal titles are going to follow suit. Okay, so Lorna says here that I saw that it's being talked about in Parliament what the next step to be. Absolutely. So they haven't just brought this issue up for the sake of it. This is something now they are saying that it is really, really advisable. And as well as that, they are now preparing themselves for parting ways with Prince Harry. So let that book come, let it do its damage, but you are finding us already positioned in this situation. Okay, so there's no coming back in here. But I think this is going to be very, very sad for Harry's children, Harry's family, because if Harry loses those titles, if they are distanced from the royal family, it means that the children themselves are going to grow up in the unknown. And the problem here as well is that once Harry loses that attachment with the royal family, everybody else that has been working with Harry down there will start pulling the plug because they only work with Harry because Harry is a son of the king here. So stop being a king or have that sort of bridge broken. People will always look at you as a high risk working with you. Okay. So, but Lorna, I really, really agree with you there. William and Catherine are great, and I think they have stood in with the royal family during these really, really hard times. It wouldn't work to have an American king or queen on the throne. England, they have thoroughly understand the UK culture and purpose, and people don't believe Meghan Markle. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm really, really liking your thoughts, guys. And then Rosie comes in. I don't think King Charles will take Harry or Andrew off the list. He can keep them, add two others on it. Anything could change, and indeed, this book is going to be a determinant. Now, King Charles III has been requesting to read, to have a copy of this book before it was released, but apparently they said no to that. Okay, so there was a reason they said no, because of course they thought if King Charles III had read through this book and saw all these things being said, there is no way he would give it a go, a yes, to be published. But apparently he demanded to have a copy of the book before it's released, and that copy wasn't given. Okay. King Charles III also demanded that the book be dropped. Okay, be dropped because he did this to also save Prince Harry from the backlash that could have come out of this book. But Harry has gone on to publish the book. Whether Prince Harry had been paid a lot of money that he could not return, nobody knows, because they paid him a big chunk of that money in deposits. And he is stuck in this situation. And I think Harry sold all the rights to Penguin's house. Okay, and it means that once they buy all those rights, they can do that book with anything. They've bought you out of it. They give you money, and they can use that book for whatever they want. And so Harry lost this entitlement, meaning that he is going to be always there regretting writing these words, which are going to be stamped out there forever, documented in physical form. The book is out on audio as well. And so he sold all the rights. You guys know what it means selling all the rights, whereby you have no say now. Okay, you because he could turn around and say, right, okay, I'm putting that book off the shelf. No, he's already sold those rights for £20 million. That money appears to be much money, but it is not. With the standards of Prince Harry and the royal family, you can't sell your family for that money. Okay. But guys, what do you guys think about that title? Lorraine says she was evidently pregnant and Archie's image of his father. Okay. Again, Lorraine says it started to be talked about, was on the agenda last week. Indeed. Okay. Yes, I never thought of that, Francis. They wouldn't pay that much money for a nice story. It has to be controversial in it. Absolutely. They never pay stories that are very nice. They want a story that is going to capture people's attention, controversies. And the fact that they named the book Spare. Spare is Prince Harry himself without even a lie, without, because you could turn around and say, they were referring to somebody else. But Prince Harry himself is a spare. And that book is going to be a reflection of the Harry we see. The Harry who is very emotional, Harry who gets very envious, Harry who growing up thought that he didn't have the best support from his father, Harry who has always found a problem walking behind his brother Prince William. But Prince William, knowing that his brother hasn't always been happy with him being king, what do you think he's going to do about it? What do you think William is going to think about this whole book going forward? Mm. And Lorraine says, I mean, let's be honest, I don't think we need to even think about the Sussex being on the throne. That would mean something that happens. So absolutely. But can you guys imagine if Prince Harry was born as the firstborn? Can you imagine the mess? Hmm? I think Harry would be walking on leaves. He would be walking in space. Can you imagine with all his pride, arrogance, and not wanting to be told, not wanting to be given advice, seeing himself as above others? Can you imagine a situation in which he was born the firstborn child? Hmm. I'll have to block these guys, excuse me. Some random guys have just. I have to block these guys. Okay. 1 minute, guys. We've got some scammers on our chat here. I'm trying to block them, have I? Right, guys, if you can help me, 1 minute. Let's see. Block user. Someone is trying to spam our live session here, guys. Let me try and block them again. Block. It doesn't give me the option to block them here. Okay, so yes, can you imagine? Can you imagine him being born in a position of being king? I think we would be in much trouble. The royal family would be in trouble. And imagine bringing Meghan along as, as the next queen consort. Ah, what a nightmare that would have been. Because behaving like that in a position they are right now. 1 minute, guys. Remove from stream. 1 minute, guys. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah. So imagine, imagine these two being in a position of William and Kate. What would we have done? So the royal family is extremely lucky that William was born as the firstborn child. And I think these things happen for a reason. Okay, because Harry could have easily been born as the firstborn child. But imagine a situation where Harry was going to be the next king. Things would be upside down right now. So we are very lucky. We are very grateful that we have William. So because we know that the future of the royal family is secured, and also we know that we have a king who is in tune with the values of the royal family, a king who is in tune with people, because it is very important to connect with your audience, with the people you lead. And Prince William and Catherine are so far doing really, really well. Now, that book from Valentina Law told us that Harry used to be very, very complicated to work with. Even the staff he had working for them with Meghan had a lot of issues at Buckingham Palace working for these two royals because they were always arrogant. They wanted things done their way. They always wanted to bypass rules and regulations and all that stuff. So imagine if Harry and Meghan were going to be king and queen consort like we see William and Kate. I think we are very lucky. Lona says Harry would not be a business person. He has never got money or anything in his life, and it's sad to be. William won't take the nasty talk about. Absolutely. And the thing is, Harry didn't also have that much education. Okay. And Rose says there wouldn't be enough crown for Harry's head. Okay, to jump around in the room so the back moves and changes shape. Okay, so I'm enjoying this, guys. Okay, I'm enjoying this. But the thing here with Prince Harry and William is that these two brothers at first appeared to be very close and everything. when you used to see Harry with Catherine, these two were like sisters and brothers, very, very close. They came up with this Fab Four, remember? And then things were going very well. But I think Harry's demons started kicking in, and he started thinking of himself as the king. Okay, when he saw Prince William in front, shaking those hands fast before him, and I think he always had a problem with this. So as he grew up, these things became worse and worse in his head. And then add Megan to that, you were always going to get that crashing, and that's what we have seen. So they crashed out with the royal family, and they are now on a mission to build their own empire out there, but an empire which is very much thriving on bringing the royal family down, which is really, really a big shame. Lorraine says, and the signature would probably be because they did not want the public to know where. If you had a doctor's name and you'd only have to use Google. Okay, and the other thing as well is Queen Elizabeth always loved Prince Harry, and there was a reason for that. I think she realized how naughty Harry was. Okay, Queen Elizabeth also realized how Harry could easily go off the rails and become a totally different person. So she always kept Harry very close. Queen Elizabeth did, just like a parent would do to a child who is very, very prone to becoming that sort of person. Okay, Queen Elizabeth did that. Now, when Queen Elizabeth, of course, got older and older, of course, she could no longer play that role effectively, and then we had Harry marrying into the family. I mean, Meghan marrying into the family, and at that point, Queen Elizabeth knew this was it. This was it. He didn't listen to advice. I'm quite sure they advised him a lot before marrying Meghan. I'm quite sure conversations behind the scenes took place, including Prince William himself sitting down and telling his brother that, listen, uh, 6 months is nothing to meet somebody and then propose and even marry them. 6 months. Why don't you wait a bit longer? Look at me and Catherine. We had to wait nearly 10 years to, we we had to wait a lot of time. We got time to know each other. Why don't you do the same? But as you know, Harry hated being advised. Harry wanted things his way. He was always seen as the naughty child who wants to run away and do his things. He didn't take that for good advice. He brought Megan in. Before we knew, 6 months after the marriage, they are out of the royal family. Now, this would not have happened if Meghan did not arrive. But I think Queen Elizabeth also saw this coming because if you remember during Meghan and Harry's wedding, the Queen wasn't really happy. You could tell from her looks that she had some great concerns with this marriage. And she was very right because once that knot was tied, the rest became history. Now the royal family is trying to hold itself on pause family to survive this Meghan and Harry sort of storm. But they will pull through it simply because we royalists are here in great support of the monarchy. We know the importance of the monarchy worldwide. Okay, Queen Elizabeth, of course, left that long lasting legacy that even if King Charles III does not live up to, people will always look at the monarchy through the lens of Queen Elizabeth. But also, we have hope that there is a great king besides King Charles who is in waiting, and that is William and Kate. Okay, so these are some of the things we hold ourselves on to try and fight Meghan and Harry storm, and I think we'll be through it. Now, this book obviously is going to always be the point of reference for any other storms that are going to be coming up in future. Okay, we are always going to look at it and say, right, you said this in this book, you said that in this book. We don't believe in what you're saying anymore. So it is also going to be good for us in ways of using it as a point of reference to their future lives. Okay, and the thing with telling the truth or these lies is that is that people are always going to hold you based on what you said, and so we have seen in those interviews Meghan and Harry gave with the Oprah Winfrey, and we have seen Meghan go on to tell other stories through her podcasts, and we see that some of these conversations don't marry with the conversations she talked about in the Oprah Winfrey interviews. And again, people are starting to sort of tick those boxes, and they are starting to say, right, okay, this doesn't match. So we are using these evidences as our points of reference, very much so as we use the Oprah Winfrey interview to say, right, you even said this last time. Okay, so the book itself, however bad it is for the royal family will always find it as a point of reference in holding Meghan and Harry accountable. Okay, but yes, guys, I think we have had some good combos here. I'm well over my 1 hour period here, so it's about time I start my party here, guys. I'm gonna have this glass of wine, and I think I better stop my ranting here. We've had a wonderful time. What do you think about these stories? Okay, but a mother figure and teach as well. She loved him. Yes. Rose McCarthy again says, yes, I'm grandma to many children. There is always tend to give them. Yes, absolutely. You keep them very close because, you show them love. And that's one way of monitoring their behaviors. Remember when Prince Harry ran off to United States and then appeared in swimming pools with a lot of other girls naked doing stuff? I think this was Las Vegas. We could say that this was Prince Harry, who was very young, but still at that age, he could understand that there are certain activities they have to tread in very carefully. Okay, so since then, uh, Queen Elizabeth kept Prince Harry very, very close, and that's why you always saw that Prince Harry is the Queen's most loved grandchild. There was a reason for that. Queen Elizabeth actually loved Prince William more, but she tended to stay closer to Prince Harry because she wanted to keep an eye on what Harry was doing. Very, very clever of her she was. Okay. But have it as well. Yes, yes. Oh, you're having a naughty one as well, Lorna. Yes, why not? Why not? We work so hard, guys. We do. But these live streams, guys, I love the fact that we get to spend time to talk about these conversations here. And of course, for Francis Page Media, it is a channel where we share those views, touch upon what we might have missed, and also try to uncover some stories like this one. That book, Spare, is going to be talked about in the upcoming few weeks and even months before it is released. And the reason for that is that they want to sort of show people how Harry was very short-sighted in writing these things. How he didn't think about it. Again, this was our whole decision that he got wrong, naming that book the way he named it, Spare, because I thought he wanted a title that was going to capture attention. But in that title, you can see a prince who is very desperate to put out words that thinks they are going to bring his family down and elevate them, because they are very much always looking at riding on the blame culture, making themselves victims, because that's what people do, especially people who do not appreciate what they have in life. For Prince Harry to be sitting here and writing a book here, mourning about being born a second born child, mourning about him not having a defined role when we have seen him being made the colonel in chief of the Royal Marines. He was the head of the Rugby Association here in the United Kingdom. He served with the forces. He has been having so many roles But him claiming he had no defined role and all that stuff is someone who is clearly mourning a lot of nonsense. Okay, but let us wait to see the book when it comes out. Okay, and guys, just make sure to always stay here at Francis Page Media. Check in on my daily stories because I tend to share a story every day via my YouTube video link, and also through the community page. I do a lot of posts giving you insights of what is going on. And let us stay united, guys. This channel is growing at a whirlwind speed. I think we are now about 52,000 subscribers, all because of your support, guys. Lorna, Rosie, Lorraine, Lily Page, Sam, you guys are brilliant here. Tam, we have so many of you who are online here that haven't appeared in the comments box, but you have done a wonderful job with this channel. Lorna, well done there. You say my son and his wife are flying from Canada tomorrow, so remember to have nice weather, please. Absolutely bless you and hope they travel safely. We know this isn't the best time to travel weather-wise, but we have to get to places, guys. So we can only pray and hope that our journeys are safe. But guys, it's been an honor having you on this live stream here. Let us keep supporting the channel. Let us keep driving these messages forward. Let us keep our royal family in prayer to fight off this Meghan and Harry storm, which is really, really sweeping hardly. And I will always let you know whenever I've got a new post coming up through the community tab. But as always, guys, I truly appreciate your support, your encouragement. Please keep on supporting this channel. I will be launching a sister channel soon here where I have some amazing products and things that you might find interesting in my audience, and of course the support from you will be immense, but that is something that is in the pipeline. I'll keep you up to date with that. But for now, guys, I'm going to say have a wonderful night. Bava, sorry, you just popped in when we are about to finish. Okay. And yes, you said Harry wanted to revise the book, not having answered the white Bible for the Queen. They didn't have. Absolutely, absolutely. I really agree with that. But it was too late. He had already taken the money. And of course, he can't change whatever he said in that book. He can only hope that people find sympathy to forgive him when things don't go the way he expected. And of course, for the royal family, of course. Um, whether that's going to be false or true in his book, the royal family can only hope that people still write on the success the royal family has had over the years. And people, including myself here, okay, I am very, very honored to have served for the royal family, to know them, to follow up on their activities every day. And I can say that none of Meghan and Harry's words are going to move and change the way I think about the royal family. Neither you, my great followers on this awesome royal news channel. Right, guys, I think we have had a lot to talk here. Thank you so much, Lady Baba. Great to see you first time on the show here, unless you have been in the background, but great to see you, Lorna. You are very wonderful. Thank you, Sam. I'm really, really grateful for you showing up on these lives and sharing your thoughts. Lorraine, you are a star. Of course, Rose. Okay, you guys are stars. Without you, this channel would be nowhere. Some fall in love wherever you as well. Enjoy your glass of wine, rose wine. Lorraine, I'm quite sure you're having your rose wine there. Yes, but every single one of you, the ones I haven't mentioned here, and you're in the background there watching, I'm so pleased and honored to always have you on board these royal news messages. For now, have a great weekend and a great new week. Happy Halloween, those who celebrate, and let us catch up in the new week, guys. Have a brilliant night. Bye bye, guys.